Okay, superstars, it's time for another English lesson, and I'm super excited about this because what you have been sending me on Class Dojo has blown my mind. You are awesome. Now today we're going to squeeze all of your awesome into only 3 sentences. That's it. 3 sentences. But don't write them yet. Just wait. Watch the video, look at the examples, then write your own sentences. This half term, so far, we've been thinking about interesting verbs. That was yesterday's activity. Using our senses. So if I close my eyes, I can hear, I can feel in the distance, I can see. If I peer over the edge of my boat, using our senses to describe. Adverbs, slowly, quickly, gently, patiently, urgently, noisily. And noun phrases, beautiful reflection, enormous factories. Thinking carefully about the words that we use. Now, if we concentrate on the interesting verbs part just for now, I reread A River this morning, the actual proper story. You can re-watch it on YouTube if you want. And I found lots and lots of different ways of saying it goes. Used in a river, there were lots of different ways of describing me going on the river. So here are the ones that I found when I looked at it this morning. It goes was one of them, and of course it's fine to use it every now and again. It goes through. It goes through the city. It goes through the jungle. Another way was it flows beside. So that's describing what's next to the river. It flows beside patchwork farms with animals. And, patchwork farms was a brilliant example yesterday. Thank you, Bayer. I loved that. So it goes through and it flows beside. Remember these. You can use them today. It carries me past. I like this, so I think I'm going to use that. It carries me past tall towers reaching up to the sky. I don't know, what's it going to carry you past? It carries me past a frozen tree with icy branches reaching out like frosty fingers. And it slides into the enormous ocean. It slides into hills and valleys. Really lovely verb choices. And then I sail through, or I bob along, and it takes me into. These are great starters that you can use in your writing today. Remember, today we're doing 3 sentences, but every single one is going to be awesome. We've got to squeeze all that awesome into 3 sentences. I've done 2 examples for you today, and I've chosen some of these. You could use some of these too. On your Class Dojo, you have this thing here, 6 pictures to choose from. You don't have to use these. You came up with your own ideas earlier this week. You can use your own ideas, or you can use my pictures. Choose one picture. Could be one of your own. Write at least 3 amazing sentences. Some of you might want to write more than that, and that's brilliant. Think about verbs, adverbs, noun phrases, and everything you can use to make your writing awesome. You could choose to do it again. If you've done the activity once, you could do it again using a different picture. That's what I've done now. Let me show you my examples. Here's the picture I chose. If you can't see that clearly on YouTube, this is the picture where it's nice glowing light at the back. Looks like 2 maybe mountains. We're in a valley. The river's calm. We've got the fishermen. They're sitting on their boats with their lamps. And the 2, I think they're cormorants, the birds, sitting there on the boats as well. Listen to my example. My tiny boat drifts slowly along the peaceful river. We've got drift drifts as one of our interesting verbs, slowly as our adverb, and then peaceful river. When I first wrote this, I wrote the word calm, and then I remembered, no, I've got other words I can use instead of calm. Serene, tranquil, peaceful. So I chose peaceful. My tiny boat drifts slowly along the peaceful river. That's how I started. Then, because that's just about the river, then I described what I could see. So then I started using my senses. The river flows gently past two ancient fishermen sitting on bamboo boats. The river flows, so I had drifts, and then flows. The river flows gently past two ancient fishermen sitting on bamboo boats. Ancient instead of old. And then bamboo boats, describing it with a noun phrase. My tiny boat drifts slowly along the peaceful river. The river flows gently past two ancient fishermen sitting on bamboo boats. 2 sentences. We've squeezed a lot of awesome in so far. One more sentence. In the distance. Remember that activity when we were really using our senses and we wrote lots of fantastic sentences. This is where we can use them. In the distance, I can see, right? What can you see in the distance? I can see the warm glow of the sun as it begins to rise. That's 3 sentences packed full of awesome. We've got noun phrases, adverbs, interesting word choices. We've used our senses. This is amazing writing, but I know that you can do something just like this today. I'll show you one more example. I am swept along the winding river in my wooden boat. Now, you could use something very similar to that. I am carried along the winding river in my silver boat. Or I float along the winding river. Or I bob along the rushing river in my golden boat. Zara used golden boat yesterday, I like that. It carries me, so that it carries me was one of these. So I've used this to help me today. It carries me past enormous factories. Vast, could use vast or colossal. I like enormous. Enormous factories and bright lights fill the dark sky. Noun phrase, noun phrase, noun phrase. Wow-wee! Absolutely chock-a-block full of noun phrases. It carries me past enormous factories and bright lights fill the dark sky. If I listen carefully, I can hear powerful machines rumbling and grinding. I liked those words, they were interesting. I am swept along the winding river in my wooden boat. Full stop. It carries me past enormous factories and bright lights fill the dark sky. If I listen carefully, I can hear powerful machines rumbling and grinding. 3 sentences, full of awesome. And that's your job today. Choose a picture, or use one of yours from earlier this week. Make sure there's enough detail in the picture for you to be able to write 3 sentences squashed full of awesome. Write 3 amazing sentences. Think about all of the things you know how to use in your writing. So verbs, adverbs, noun phrases, interesting words, everything. You could, once you've finished it, choose a different picture and do it again. I've done 2 today. I did the fisherman one and I did the factory one. You could do 2 today. I'd be really interested to hear your amazing ideas. Some of your writing this week has been fantastic. You can borrow some of mine. It's here for you. You can pause it. Don't copy this. Come up with your own ideas. But I am swept along the winding river. You can change that. I am carried along the winding river. My tiny boat drifts slowly along the peaceful river. Well, my wooden boat floats gently along the serene river. You can use those words. So you've got a sentence here that you can change different bits so that it fits your writing. I want your ideas today. I'm only here to help. Have a go now. If you're thinking, Mr Scullion, this is too hard, don't go and ask a grown-up to come and help you. They want their cup of tea, they want to sit on the sofa, they want to relax. Leave them alone. You can use my story map. If you're really stuck, if you're really finding it tough, you can use my story map for this one. Don't copy this. Use this to help you. Let me talk you through this. If you're confident, you want to have a go yourself, you don't need to watch the rest of this. Stop the video, go and write your 3 amazing sentences, or your 4 amazing sentences, or your 7 amazing sentences, or your however many amazing sentences you think you can write today. Choose 1 picture, choose 2 pictures, choose 3 pictures. If you're thinking, I'm a bit stuck, that's why I'm here right now. Story map. I'm going to use this to retell what I've just written. It might not be exactly the same, and that's the point of a story map. This just gives us the ideas. I am swept along the winding river in my little boat. Full stop. It carries me past huge factories, and I can see bright lights in the sky. Full stop. If I listen carefully, I can hear loud machines rumbling and turning. Full stop. It's not exactly the same as what I wrote before, but I can use this to help. I'll leave this story map here. If you are finding it tricky to think of your own ideas, you can borrow this one. I would love to see your imagination today. I'll do this one more time before I end the video. 3 sentences filled with awesome. I'm going to change this word. I am carried along the winding river in my little brown boat. Full stop. It carries me past huge factories, and the night sky is filled with bright lights. Full stop. If I listen carefully, I can hear powerful machines rumbling and churning. Full stop. 3 sentences. Write those. Give it your best shot with sounding out. If you're trying to use difficult words, that's absolutely fine. You might not spell them right all the time, but I want you to feel brave enough to have a go. Send me a photo of your 3 amazing sentences once they have been written. I look forward to seeing them all, and I will be sharing some of my favourites on Class Dojo later. And those will be the people who've done their personal best, who've used interesting words, who've thought carefully about their adverbs and their noun phrases. Those people will get some extra dojo points. Will it be you? We'll find out later. See you soon, everybody. Bye.